Aguilar's got to work the middle of the field a ton, but he's going to have a big night.
All right, long drives as well. Keep that defense off the field.
Yes.
Dan's going to be back later to weigh in on the MVP conversation.
All right, guys, Sunday afternoon in New Orleans, two of the best teams in each conference will face off as the 12-1 Chiefs visit the 10-3 New Orleans Saints. You see that question mark, though. What about Drew Brees? We know Patrick Mahomes is going, but about a month after suffering 11 cracked ribs and a punctured lung, the almost 42-year-old Brees is hoping to return for this game, but it's definitely a wait-and-see situation. Head coach Sean Payton, he discussed today what they need to see before they give Drew Brees the green light to come back.
It's pretty simple. It's just functionality, strength, throwing, without soreness, there's a process. And, last week with the trainers, he had one throwing day. Then yesterday, the same way. And it's really asymptomatic, feeling good, strong, and like you can function and be an asset and play well.
Look at the numbers because the Saints offense has taken a step back under the direction of Taysom Hill. Since he took over for Brees in Week 11, the offense is averaging nearly 6 fewer points per game and nearly 65 fewer passing yards per game, too. Then again, not a huge surprise considering Taysom Hill is replacing a future Hall of Famer. Let's say hello to NFL insider Adam Schefter, live here in SportsCenter. And Adam, the Saints they've been waiting patiently for Brees to heal, of course, doing the right thing. But what else is going to factor into their decision about whether he will play Sunday against Kansas City?
Well, hello, Sage. I think this is about whether Drew Brees has the full range of motion, whether he feels close to 100%, and whether they can keep up with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Look, his health has been the big issue. The fact that they took him off the injured reserve list tells you that they are on the path to get him back. The big question is, can they do it in time for Sunday's game, or will it take another week, Christmas week, to get Drew Brees back? But when they activated him, that sent a signal that, yes, they're getting closer to getting Drew Brees back. And right now, I believe that's a question of whether he feels that strength of movement, that functionality that Sean Payton's referring to, and whether he feels like he can go out and not be inhibited in any way.
You know how much he's got to want to return, especially this Sunday against the defending Super Bowl champions. The other big quarterback question right now is in Washington regarding Alex Smith, because he did not practice again today. Alex Smith, you guys at home recall, he removed himself from Washington's game against the Niners last week because of a strained calf. After taking over in Week 9 in Washington, Smith is 4-1, and he's led his team to first place in the NFC East. So, Adam, the 9-4 Seahawks are coming to Washington. How will head coach Ron Rivera handle things if Alex Smith ends up not practicing at all this week?
Yeah. Well, Sage, he said that Alex Smith is fully capable of not practicing all week long and then playing on Sunday. But there are many coaches that are comfortable doing that, having a player who doesn't practice at all and then thrusting him into the starting lineup. Now, we'll see whether Ron Rivera decides to do that. Alex Smith is certainly capable and can grasp the offense and knows what he needs to do. The whole question is whether they want to expose him after not practicing this week to that Seattle defense on Sunday, and whether they want to put him out there. Again, that'll be a decision that Ron Rivera makes. If he's uncomfortable, Dwayne Haskins will wind up starting. Would be a big opportunity for Dwayne Haskins to move his career in the right direction.
Yep, that's a 1 Eastern kick versus Seattle on Sunday in D.C. as the Washington football team is that much closer to making the postseason for just the second time in the last decade. Adam, thank you.
Thanks, Sage.
Time for Toss Up, where I play the role of heavily favored Ohio State and Wilbon plays the role of comically huge underdog Northwestern. What's first?
Toss up. They play Sunday. Who you got, the Seahawks or the football team?
I think I've got Seattle. They're 3-1 in East Coast games so far this year, so they're not troubled by the trip. I'm anxious about the quarterback circumstance for Washington.
Yeah.
I'd feel more comfortable with Alex Smith than Dwayne Haskins. This is odd, Mike. This could be a preview of the first round of the playoffs. If Seattle stays as a wild card at number 5, they get to play the NFC East winner, which might very well be Washington. If I were Seattle, I'd rather play Washington, where home field means nothing, than have to play either the Rams or Tampa Bay. The way I look at the game is very simple. Can Washington's defense, which is now number 6 and improving all the time in terms of points scored, can they stop Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson, this surprised me. It surprised me, Mike, to find out he's been sacked 40 times.
He's been sacked
I didn't
a lot.
know it was that many.
Listen, the Washington football team has won 4 straight, and they've won it on the strength of their defense, right? Only one of those teams figures to be a playoff team, and that would be Pittsburgh, but that was an unbelievably impressive win as far as I'm concerned for the Washington football team. I don't care if Pittsburgh has stumbled or not. But the question is, Tony, can Russell Wilson stay upright and be the Russell Wilson we saw in the first third of the season against that defense, which in this latest third of the season is wow. I mean, they have controlled action, particularly that front seven. I'm going to take the Washington football team at home to beat Russell Wilson.
You're such a homer. That makes me happy.
Right.
Next.
Toss-up, they play Sunday. Who would you rather have at quarterback, Cam or Tua?
So I love this matchup, but not for the quarterbacks. I love it for the coaches. Can a pup of Belichick beat Belichick? He didn't do it the first time around. I think New England just ran. They got 217 yards rushing, and they ran Miami out of the gym. This one, to me, Mike, feels like Miami's season. If they lose this, they're going to fall behind Baltimore for the wild card in the playoffs. If they win this, they can maybe get to the playoffs. It's a real big deal. In terms of the quarterbacks, Cam Newton can't pass. I mean, it's 16 games in a row that he's played where he's either got 1 or no touchdown passes. Do I like Tua? Yeah. Do I love him? No. And Belichick beats rookie quarterbacks 21-5 all time.
Well, there you have it. We can roll right to the commercial break now, all right? Because only one thing matters, that Belichick is 21-5 against rookie quarterbacks. And that's what Tua is, making his second start. It's against Belichick more than it is against Cam Newton. I keep waiting. I keep thinking maybe I'm hoping more than, can point to any analytics. But don't you think that Cam has one great game left in him this season? And maybe this
I'd like to see it.
One where he throws for 250 yards and also rushes for 2 touchdowns. He stays upright, grass stains free on the back of his jersey. I keep waiting for one of those. But more importantly, Belichick, 21-5 against neophytes.
Right. And a couple of weeks ago, he beat Justin Herbert, who we think is good, 45-0.
0. Yeah.
Thank you, and tip your waiter on the way out. Yeah. Let's take one last break. Still to come, Duke posts a win over Notre Dame. Are the Blue Devils back on track?
And is Freddie Kitchens ready to get his revenge on the Browns? I think I remember Freddie Kitchens. He a country singer.